Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. We are 38% of the way through. We have just finished Act 2. Technically, we're at 100%. We're about to end it. Things are getting a little bit weirder, and I'm sure we're going to find out even more weird stuff in Act 3. So let's get into it.
At midnight.
Yeah, I know. Continue.
David Hunt.
I can change my skin.
Then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number. There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I? He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me. It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Nice. Act 3. Spiked. Alright. Whoa! Look at all this. Okay, the arrest report. Well, hold on. Let me read the arrest report before you tell me about it. I didn't even read it yet. Statement of Christian Weber, police officer 7691. To the best of my knowledge, this statement is true. I understand I may be prosecuted if I have stated anything that I know to be untrue. At 20:40 hours on Tuesday, 8th November, myself and PC 9725 Holt responded to a call received from a neighbor of the Bauer House, Weston Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address and knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through this door, and I announced myself by shouting, "Police!" but did not hear any response. We searched the premises. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, and there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man for signs of life, but found none. I asked the woman her name. She identified herself to me as Claire Castleford. I asked if she knew the dead man. She said he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what had happened, and she said that she had killed him. Following a search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present at the house, I said to Castleford at 20:52 hours, "You are under arrest on suspicion of murder." I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of the police car for transportation to Western Park. Okay, I don't think we can scroll. There's no way. Okay. Crime scene report. Dr. Dekker. No first name. Okay. Sure. Why not just make up a first name? The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind the desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Possible murder weapon was paper spike, desk accessory, 150 millimeters long, protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Oh, that you would you'd spike through paper and to keep it there? Okay. Time of death estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. on Valentine's Day. Note, the victim's body was reportedly discovered at 10:20 p.m. Well, then, he probably didn't die at 10:30, but maybe we're wrong. Cause of death, exsanguination, due to punctuation of the left anterior descending coronary. Sorry, I had something blocking it. I'm not stupid. Artery. Death would be... Death would have occurred within minutes. Something. Okay, so the arrest report says Claire killed David. I've underlined some things to ask her about. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask patients about the paper spike. Too much to do today. Oh, okay. All right, well, defaulted to Claire. She's obviously the most interesting one, so we'll start with that. But then we'll move on to Mariana. Don't worry. Okay. You killed your husband.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Was David buried? How can he be alive?
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
You are crazy. You are hallucinating.
If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Dekker's guidance.
Jesus. What do you even say to that shit? Let's start with hello. Sorry.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Playing? Did you talk to the girl?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
What did she do with the fish?
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
What? I just want Mariana. She's crazy, bitch. What made you uneasy? Why did the girl make you uneasy? Okay. Killed your husband.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Okay. Fatally wounded.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him.
Fixed him?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Resurrection?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Necromancer.
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first, which is understandable, as I did kill him. But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
Do you regret reviving him? Do you regret bringing him back? Okay, what the hell do we get?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results,
Results.
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
What's the problem?
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
How can I help? I'm gonna need to see David. How do you want me to help?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Okay, just because you raise him back from the dead, that doesn't negate the killing. Right? He wouldn't need to have been raised if he was not dead. You killed him. Yes, you are a killer.
At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him, I just stabbed him a bit.
Fucking manslaughter.
And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
You're permanently insane. You are permanently insane. Like, manslaughter. If it wasn't for you, he wouldn't have died. Like, whatever legal term you want to throw there, you're a killer. Even if it's an accident, okay, whatever, you killed him. Like, that's a fact. Purpose does not enter the question for the term. You're a killer. You are insane. You are crazy. Get out of my office. I'm calling the police. Okay. Will I declare her temporarily insane? I don't like that temporarily part. Yes, I will declare you temporarily insane.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else.
What did Dr. Dekker want?
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again.
Why don't I have this option?
I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually.
After you killed him.
And then he mentioned the girl.
The girl? What girl? What girl did Dr. Dekker mention?
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real.
Oh, it was fucking real.
I assumed it wasn't real.
It was real.
But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
Was it real? Was the girl real? Was the girl dead? Did he kill the girl? Hold on. Who is Iris? Who is Iris?
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Oh, Iris is the girl, right? That it was like David's assistant at the eye place, because it was a joke that her name was Iris. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged stability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually.
Changed his mind. Changed his mind?
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Sorry. I feel like that's how I die, but yes, I would like to see David.
Very well. In our next session.
Nice. Clutch.
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Should ask her about the arrest report. Well, I mean, she already kind of mentioned it, but what about this arrest report?
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
What about all the blood?
It's a messy business, stabbing someone. You'd imagine that it would be like slicing into a pie with all the filling just slowly oozing out, but it's so much more dramatic, like popping a cork of a bottle of champagne. Blood sprayed everywhere.
I mean, it depends on where you stab them, really, but... Okay, hold on, there was some other... Steak knife, neighbor, dead man. Okay. Neighbor.
My neighbors seem far more interested in my business than they are their own. The lake house only has one house opposite, and it was on sale for some time. I suppose I should have bought it.
Steak knife.
The steak knife was the closest, sharpest weapon I could lay my hands on. I didn't really have much time to think about it.
Why didn't you think about it? Why couldn't you think about it? Think. Alright, yeah. How could there be a funeral?
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
Oh, Bryce?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
Oh, you paid Bryce to smuggle David. Hold on, we gotta clear. It's probably over Bryce. Yeah. Oh, what an accusation.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a
pallbearer.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a grave digger, I believe.
Okay.
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
Who did you pay? Pay, body, smuggle, grave, funeral. What do you know about the paper spike?
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear and into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
Ooh. Ooh. Dekker was stabbed through the heart.
He was stabbed in the heart. Then I'd say whoever killed him didn't want to leave any room for error.
Did you kill Dr. Dekker? No. Yeah, you got sort of a lot of loose ends here. Yeah, that's what I asked about. Why didn't you have much time to think about it?
I didn't plan to kill my husband. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. What is it with men and affairs? Is that why they have a shorter average lifespan?
Well, women live longer because they don't have to live with women. I think that's a Colin Mockery joke, but I don't know if he created it.
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the...
Oh, the bedroom window. Of course. Why didn't I ask about the bedroom window?
Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway. I could have sworn I'd looked there already.
Did you find... Did David take the key? What happened when Dr. Dekker met David?
I think it was a mistake taking Dr. Dekker to see David. Dr. Dekker wanted to examine him, so they went into a different room. I wasn't worried. David wouldn't speak. But Dr. Dekker seemed very distant after that. He didn't say a word on the way back.
Why would you be worried about David speaking? Why? What changed Dr. Dekker? Why didn't Dr. Dekker speak? Jesus Christ!
Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway. I could have sworn I'd looked there already.
Maybe David isn't human.
Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting. Dr. Dekker asked if I could... David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first. which is understandable, as I did kill him.
You just admitted to being a killer.
I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
There's like, why do you say you didn't?
He made sounds. I could understand him a bit. I thought he'd improve with time, like a child learning to talk, but he didn't. It's only recently that I've come to that conclusion that he's not going to get better. He's not going to be right again. I think it's his brain. At least he is safe where he is.
Are you going to kill David again? Are you going to take David to a doctor?
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
Maybe you didn't kill David. No. Can you prove David is still? I mean, she's gonna do it next time.
I have a picture of him I took after he came back. I'll bring it in next session.
No, you'll bring David in next session. What could explain him still being alive? I don't know. Damn it. It's not just the right question. It's the right way of phrasing the question.
He made sounds.
That misses out on a lot of
I
stuff.
could understand him a bit. I thought he'd improve with time, like a child learning to talk, but he didn't. It's only recently that I've come to that conclusion that he's not going to get better. He's not going to be right again. I think it's his brain. At least he is safe where he is.
Safe?
At the lake house. He doesn't move from there. For good reason.
Good reason?
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
Getting worse? Wait, you want me to go talk to Bryce and come back? How does that make sense realistically? Like, they're coming in one at a time. Isn't this all one day? What? Fine. Fine. Did you smuggle David's body?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
I see. Alright. Bryce says your husband is in the ground.
Well, that's what he would say, isn't it?
Is David a zombie? Of course, why wouldn't I ask that?
Yes, he did come back to life, but he's not a zombie. He looks like he always did.
Well, that's not...
His mind is encumbered. There's no way back.
I mean... What's, like, the exact definition of zombie? Let's look up Merriam-Webster. Uh. A willless and speechless human held to have died and been supernaturally reanimated. That's pretty damn close, Claire. I don't know. Alright. Is David a revenant? Yeah, bleh. Did you lie about David never leaving the lake house?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What I meant to say is that David never leaves the vicinity of the lake house. I think his hunting would be severely restricted by trying to do it from the kitchen window.
Why do you let David hunt? These hints, man.
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
How is David getting worse? Why is David getting worse? Worse. Unseemly?
Do you see David here? No, Doctor. That would be ridiculous.
Of course, yeah. What happened to Iris? Oh, I have to talk to other people. So I gotta switch around. Alright, well then screw you. We're coming back to you last. Let's move on to somebody cooler. Hello?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
I didn't ask.
It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
Why do you feel blue on rent day? Rent day?
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
Yeah, I would have guessed that. Okay. What do about the paper spike?
Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money.
Value for money?
I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars, though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
No, you are really hot. No, it is not like that for everyone. No, it isn't. She's just a succubus. No, people pay for everything. That's not true. What do you want me to say here? What about your checks?
I actually don't have a lot of money.
Of course, you sell fucking
Sometimes
beach
a therapy
jewelry
check
on
would
Etsy.
bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine, though. Don't worry. I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars, though. Sometimes I'll get away. I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget.
Fidget?
I never stay in one town very long. I get bored too easily. Once you've seen the same faces over and over again, you move. Like I said before, I like to move around a lot.
Are you going to move soon? When are you moving next? You mentioned seeing something beautiful. Yeah. You mentioned seeing something beautiful.
You've got a good memory, Doctor.
Yeah.
Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light. Deep in the ocean somewhere.
Honestly.
I head towards it because it's warm and glowing like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing.
You're a deep one.
Like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home. And then I wake up.
Oh. Well, obviously that was a loaded one. What do you think the dream means? Am I getting worse at typing questions or something? Dream, water, ocean, deep one, the sun, home.
It's so beautiful. It calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor?
It might mean you want to move. Okay, let's see. What do they got? Mariana's dream could mean many things. A metaphor for her current issues, searching for something, or maybe she's making it up. Maybe it's a metaphor.
Yes, I suppose I follow that glow like people follow me. I still don't know what it means, though.
Well, the orange went away. What are you doing? Who does this in a therapist's office? What's wrong with you? Have some decorum. You don't like crowds, but you like... Sorry.
Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
You don't like attention. You like to slink around.
Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club.
Yeah.
And then he just follows me.
Yeah.
Wherever I go.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Oh. Damn it.
I don't want everyone seeing that.
Why is it creepy? It's totally normal.
I don't want people to follow me. I'm not trying to get them to do anything.
She's kind of a crappy succubus. Why do you kiss guys?
I'm not a siren. It's just how some guys are. I tried it with a woman, too.
Oh, nice.
She followed me.
Nice.
If a lot of people are watching, then it doesn't work.
Oh. Why doesn't it work?
If I kiss somebody and a lot of people are watching, they don't follow me. Too embarrassed, I guess.
Can I kiss you? Okay. Have you had any more blackouts?
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach?
Yes, I want to come with you to the beach.
Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine.
Damn it. You asked me! Ah! Why? No, we got nothing else there. Okay.
Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
But that's what I... Oh, no. Okay. Bars are dim. Where do people follow you? To Johannesle.
They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
When do they stop following you? Do they follow you home?
Yes. They follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
Do they follow you into the bathroom? Okay. Do they follow you to the beach? No. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What happens after they follow her? Okay. What happens after they follow you?
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave. Other places, they just disappear. I don't see them again.
Yeah, okay. Like, we're just gonna stop questioning there? Disappear?
They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice.
Why do you think people follow you? It sounds like you are quite antisocial.
I can be outgoing. It just depends on what mood you catch me in.
Nice. What do you know about Claire? Claire. Dead, murder, David, funeral. Do you know anything? No. Okay. Fuck.
Yes, they follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
A trance?
They're in some kind of trance, like zombies. But I don't know what they want.
Hold on. Why do you get bored so easily?
I've got a short attention span. The malaise of our generation, I expect. What are you bored by, Doctor?
I am bored by DC Comics movies. I am bored by public sporting events. All right, well, why'd you ask me? Malaise? I could be mean and say I'm bored of her. Ooh. Why would I say such stuff? That's like the only one that's gonna get the green, so I have to say it.
You should get out more, Doctor. Looking at me all day should be fun, but if you're bored, perhaps we should spend some time apart.
No. Why would you say such things? Okay. Why do you kiss guys?
I'm not a siren. It's just how some guys are. I tried it with a woman, too. She followed me. If a lot of people are watching, then it doesn't work.
Why did you kiss a girl? I'm sorry. It's 2019. 18. Woman. Hint. Do the people following you remain silent?
I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me.
Why don't you talk to them? Why don't you talk to the people following you? Why don't they talk to you? Why must you do this to me?
They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
Do they follow you into the sea? Do they follow you? I feel like the beach is really the most interesting one here, but they're not giving me that one. Do they... Because I would say work, but she doesn't have a job other than the beach, picking up seashells and making necklaces out of them, so... They follow you to work. I don't know. Where else does she go? What landlady? Her landlady.
I pay my rent to a landlady. I don't own my own place. I'm just passing through.
And we didn't get anything out of that, so that was a big waste. She doesn't go anywhere. Do they follow you here? Oh. Do they follow you to therapy? I don't know, man. And we're not getting any information on Claire, so I feel like it's all going to be on Bryce or something, but... God. It's going to take a while, man. They're being very difficult. What? Do they follow you to bed?
There was one guy. A real gym buddy.
Yeah.
I let him into the bedroom, but nothing.
Oh.
Nothing I did would stop him just staring at me. It was creepy. I got him to follow me outside, and then I just shut the door.
And that's still not the end. There's still some other place they follow her. Where does she go? Do they get in your car? Is this like it follows where they'll eventually always get to you? Let's talk about Dr. Dekker.
Are we still talking about him? And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor.
I am interested in you. Damn it. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Oh, God. I think we're going to end it off here. Otherwise, we'll just be here all day until I wrap up Mariana. So, my name is Mangg. Game watching has been The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.